You are running late for work. You get in your car, you press the start button, nothing happens. No check engine light, no dead battery, no error message you recognize. Just a car that has decided, based on a camera watching your eyes and a sensor reading your steering inputs, that you are not fit to drive today. You are not drunk. You had 2 cups of coffee and a bad night of sleep. Your car does not know the difference. And here is the part that should stop you cold. There is no appeal process, no number to call, no override button, no federal rule telling you how to get out of that lockout. Your dashboard is now judge, jury, and executioner. This is not a prediction. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is Section 24220 of the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, a law buried inside a 1,100-page bill signed into effect with almost zero public debate and still alive today after Congress voted to keep it funded in January 2026. Today we are going to read you the actual law. We are going to name the exact technologies being considered. We are going to walk you through the January 2026 House vote that kept it on track. And at the end, we are going to tell you exactly which vehicles are not subject to any of this. Stay with us. What Section 24220 actually says? Let us start with the text, not the headlines, the actual law. Section 24220 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act directs the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, to mandate what the bill calls advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology as standard equipment in every new passenger vehicle sold in the United States. The law requires the system to do 3 things. 1. Passively monitor the performance of the driver. 2. Passively monitor the driver's blood alcohol concentration. 3. Prevent or limit vehicle operation if impairment is detected. Read that again. Passively monitor. That means it is always running. You do not activate it, you cannot turn it off. It watches every time you get in the car. And here's the detail that most coverage skips entirely. The law does not define what technology achieves this. It hands that decision to NHTSA, which means the specific system that watches you has not been finalized. The rules are still being written, but the mandate is already law. What does passively monitor look like in practice? NHTSA has been researching 3 main technologies. The first is a touch sensor built into the steering wheel or start button. It reads your blood alcohol concentration through your skin. The target threshold is 0.08, the legal limit. Tests showed 85% accuracy in 2023. Virginia Tech found that cold weather or gloves disrupt the reading entirely. The second is a driver-facing camera that tracks your eye movement, blink rate, and head position. Volvo already uses a version of this in its 2024 XC90. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety found a 10% false positive rate in dim lighting. The third is behavior-based software that analyzes your steering inputs, braking patterns, and lane position. If the algorithm decides the pattern looks like impairment, the system flags you. None of these systems determine guilt. They calculate probability, and then they deny access to your own vehicle. The January 2026 vote. What actually happened? Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky introduced an amendment to block all federal funding for NHTSA's implementation of Section 24220. His argument was straightforward. He read the actual law on the House floor. His exact words on X before the vote: "When your car shuts down because it doesn't approve of your driving, how will you appeal your roadside conviction?" The amendment failed. 268 members voted against it. That included 57 Republicans who crossed the aisle to kill it alongside 211 Democrats. Let that number land. 57 Republicans voted to keep a Biden-era surveillance mandate alive in January 2026 under a Republican House majority. The official defense from Democrats was that the law does not give the government the ability to remotely shut down your car, and technically that is true today. The law requires automakers to install monitoring technology. It does not currently give law enforcement a remote off switch. But here is what that defense ignores. Once the hardware is standard in every vehicle on the road, once every new car built after 2026 has driver-facing cameras, steering wheel sensors, and impairment detection software, the technical barrier to expanded use disappears. What the law allows today and what the hardware enables tomorrow are two different conversations, and you will not be at that second conversation. NHTSA missed its November 2024 deadline to finalize the rules. As of early 2026, those rules are still being written. The technology is not ready. Automakers are scrambling, but the mandate is still funded, still alive, and still moving forward.
The false positive problem nobody is talking about. Here is the scenario the law's supporters never address directly. You take prescription medication for blood pressure. Your steering inputs are slightly slower than the algorithm expects. The system flags you as impaired. Or you have type 1 diabetes. Your blood chemistry triggers the touch sensor on the steering wheel. Or you have a neurological condition. Your eye movement pattern does not match the baseline the camera was trained on. Or simply, you did not sleep well. Fatigue and alcohol impairment produce almost identical behavioral signatures in early-stage driving data. In every one of these scenarios, the car says no, and the law currently provides zero process for getting out of that lockout. No reset protocol, no appeal mechanism, no federal rule defining how a sober driver with a medical condition gets their car to start. NHTSA has publicly acknowledged this problem. Their own documentation notes the challenge of distinguishing between different types of impairment. They call themselves working diligently. That phrase is doing a lot of work for a mandate that affects every driver in America. The 10% false positive rate found by the Insurance Institute in dim lighting conditions is not a rounding error. Apply that to 280 million registered vehicles in the United States, and you are talking about 28 million potential wrongful lockouts every time lighting conditions are suboptimal. Your car should not be this fragile. Your right to move freely should not depend on whether your steering wheel sensor works correctly in cold weather.
The vehicles that are not subject to any of this. The mandate applies to new passenger vehicles. It does not retroactively apply to vehicles already on the road. That is the escape hatch, and it is wide open right now. Here is your list. Any vehicle manufactured before the 2026 model year is not subject to Section 24220. No camera requirement, no steering wheel sensor, no behavior monitoring software. You own the machine entirely. Specific targets to prioritize right now before prices reflect this reality. 2005 to 2015 Toyota Tacoma, the 4-liter 1GR FE V6. Physical controls, no driver monitoring system. Parts availability is exceptional. These trucks will run 300,000 miles without touching a sensor the government mandated. 2003 to 2012 Ford F-250 with the 6.4 or 6.7 Power Stroke diesel. Mechanical complexity you control. No passive monitoring. No algorithm deciding whether your grip pressure qualifies as sober. 1999 to 2007 Chevy Silverado Classic with the 5.3 Vortec. Pre-government mandate, pre-subscription model, pre-surveillance hardware. A truck that starts every time you tell it to. 2000 to 2009 Honda CR-V or Toyota 4Runner, practical, reliable, sub $15,000 in clean condition. No camera watching your eyes, no sensor reading your skin. Any pre-1996 vehicle with a carburetor and no OBD2 port, the furthest point from all of this. No emissions monitoring port means no software integration point. These vehicles are EMP resistant, subscription free, and permanently outside the reach of any mandate written after 1990. The price gap between these vehicles and a 2026 model with monitoring hardware, subscription features, and mandatory surveillance equipment is not just a financial gap, it is a freedom gap. Here is where we are right now. A law passed in 2021 requires every new car built after 2026 to monitor you continuously while you drive. The technology is not finalized, the rules are not written. The false positive problem has no solution, and Congress voted in January 2026 to keep the funding alive anyway. The supporters call it a drunk driving prevention tool. We call it what it is, a permanently installed monitoring system in a vehicle you paid for, operated by software you do not control, with no process for appeal when it gets it wrong. There is no version of this where you are more free than you were before. The vehicles on today's list do not have this hardware. They never will. And every month that passes, their value reflects that reality more clearly. Here is your question for the comments. Have you already decided you will never buy a vehicle subject to Section 24220, or are you still on the fence? Tell us where you stand. And if you want to know which 2025 model year vehicles already have the monitoring hardware pre-installed before the mandate is finalized, that audit drops in 7 days. Subscribe now so you do not miss it. Your car should start when you tell it to. Hold the line, stay analog, keep turning your own wrenches. We will see you in the next one.